Now, an ordinary kid on the debate.
Listen, my grandpa's already had this debate over Thanksgiving dinner. If the one tonight doesn't include somebody chucking a full bowl of cranberry sauce across the table, what are we even doing? Don't get me wrong. I love my grandpas. Do I think they should have the nuclear codes? No. Biden and Trump are so old. Why don't they just get a place in Florida and play golf every day? Oh, actually, one of them already does that. Are they even going to discuss the globalization paradox? The fundamental contradictions of the modern state and capitalism and its ever-increasing effect on economic and social-political policy? That's what keeps me up at night. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to vote for Taylor Swift. Or whoever changes my bedtime to 9:15.
This has been An Ordinary Kid on the Debate.
Hi, what can I do for you?
You gotta ask yourself one question.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Do I feel lucky?
Say what?
Well, do you, punk?
It is your lucky day because today is National Bingo Day.
Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo!
Celebrate National Bingo Day by finding a local bingo hall for a day of gaming.
Happy National Bingo Day.
Bingo!
Showtime!
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
This is Charlotte County Speaks, your chance to let your voice be heard on local, state, and national issues. Broadcasting live from a dumpy little warehouse behind a Taco Bell.
Okay, now it's time to turn the old microphone over to the most far-off, freakiest DJ in the USA. He has been backstage with the band for the last 3.5 days getting his head together, so I imagine he must be pretty well together right now. So would you please give a big warm welcome for
Ken Lovejoy.
News Radio 1580, 100.9 FM, WCCFradio.com. This is Charlotte County Speaks. I'm Ken Lovejoy. That's Michael Imbasciani.
Good morning.
And our phone lines are open for whatever you wish to discuss at 941-206-1580. Toll free, 888-441-1580. You can email us. The address is ccspeaks@live.com. If you miss a show, find them all on our homepage at WCCFradio.com. And just scroll down to the podcast section. Thought he was going to. Eric said he was going to. Eric's not here. Eric flew out.
Eric's not here.
He's going to Spain or someplace.
Again.
Yeah. I think it was flying somewhere. Anyway, comedian John Caparulo is your headliner.
Yes.
This week of Imbasciani in the Comedy Zone. John is, man, he's been doing comedy for years. Was on all the Tonight shows. TV, movies, does voice work. I mean, ton of stuff. Hilarious guy. You'll love him. John Caparulo, Vasani.net. Saturday's looking pretty sold out. Tickets available for tonight and tomorrow night, 8 o'clock shows, and then 2 shows on Saturday at 6 and 9:30. Vasani.net. Make sure you get your tickets for that.
Yes. While you're there, you can get your tickets for the Simply Clapton show coming up the end of July.
End of July.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. 206-1580, toll free, 888-441-1580. What else did I have? I had something else. Oh, traveling, summer.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we live...
Summer travel.
We live in a place where tourists usually come to.
True.
So
we don't travel.
Well, I got most of my traveling. Yeah, everybody says, "Oh, you're getting older now. You want to travel?" No, I don't want to. I did all my traveling when I was young. I could care less if I leave the country ever again.
I could care less now,
or the state, or the county. To be quite honest with you, no.
Yeah.
But here, Who was it? Wallet Hub? Did they do this? Who did this? TripAdvisor did this one. Best tourist attractions in the world in 2024. Coming in at number 10, some Muslim mosque, Abu Dhabi's largest.
Really?
Yeah. Number 9, the Milan Cathedral.
What is this a list of?
Top 10 best tourist attractions in the world.
Okay.
The Milan Cathedral, Gardens by the Bay, a huge nature park in Singapore.
Very nice.
The Louvre in Paris.
Louvre.
The Colosseum in Rome at number 6. The Crystal Caves in the Cayman Islands. Very cool. I've seen video and pictures. Very cool. Some chunks like 11 tons, 20-foot long crystal pretty cool.
That's cool.
The Sagrada Familia. It's a church in Spain. The Anne Frank House coming in at number 3 in Amsterdam. The Eiffel Tower coming in at number 2. And number 1, still, after all these years, Empire State Building.
Cool. I'll tell you what. The one time I went to New York City, I enjoyed it. It was fun at the time. Yeah. It's better to go to the top of Rockefeller Center than it is the Empire State Building.
Did both.
Yeah, because Rockefeller Center is an ugly building.
It is.
And when you go to the top of Rockefeller Center, you can see the Empire State Building.
Yes.
Better angle for pictures. And you can also see Central Park.
Yes.
And it's cheaper than going to the top of the Empire State Building.
I've been there once, just before the Rona hit.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
We flew up there January 1st. New Year's Day is when we left.
Where they were still cleaning up the bags of excrement from the people who had to sit waiting for the ball to drop.
No, it was our hotel was literally, you could look out our window into the ice skating rink.
Oh, that's cool.
At Rockefeller Center. And we had a great time. I would never want to live there. No way in hell.
No.
But got to see it all, did all the sights.
That's cool.
And had a good time. And then the Rona hit. And New York turned into a crap hole. And now it is. But the Empire State Building is still numero uno for tourists in 2024. The 10 best attractions in the U.S. Also include, aside from the Empire State Building, Alcatraz out in San Francisco, taking the boat out there.
That would be cool to see. Do you remember that
I got a buddy
show?
that swam that. They have
wow.
They had the swim from Alcatraz.
That's cool.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Get sharks, cold. You got currents whipping up all over the place there.
There was that good show for a while. Do you remember that? I think it was just called Alcatraz. And there was like the spooky little thing going on where like some of the prisoners, even though it was years later, some of the prisoners were like popping up as themselves being that same young age they were. It was some like murder mystery show. It's really good.
Missed that one.
I think it got canceled after like one season.
Graceland in Memphis.
Okay,
another big tourist. And the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, too.
Ghetto.
Brooklyn Bridge, too.
That'd be cool.
I saw that.
Yeah.
There's that one place where it gave you little points. If you look out this window,
you
can see down.
That's kind of cool.
Forget where that was. But anyway, Chrysler Building, all that stuff. Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
206-1580, toll free, 888-441-1580. You're going up to Georgia to close on a place?
Yep, we closed Friday, so we're going up this next week.
So are you going to be there on the 4th?
No, I'll be driving.
You're driving on the 4th.
I'm driving back on the 4th.
Well, what's the most important things for the 4th of July?
Patriotism, number 1. Number 2, hot dogs and hamburgers.
You're not even close.
Well,
you're right.
Enlighten me.
But you're not even close. Hi, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, fellas. Can you hear me? Over.
Hi, Roger, over.
Yes.
Ken, you're old enough to remember we talked about the ice cream cake day.
Yes, ice cream cake day.
Yes.
Well, you still make them. We just got one a couple of years ago.
Do you remember Tom Carvel?
Oh, Carvel's. Yeah. Yeah, we had...
Tom Carvel and the Cookie Puss.
The cookie. No, I don't know what the...
That was what he named... And it was another one. What the hell was it? It was the Cookie Puss and... Fudgy the Whale.
Well, yeah, Fudgy the Whale.
Oh, okay. I remember Fudgy the Whale,
I've heard of that. That's their mascot.
I remember them.
I'm not in business anymore, but...
I remember them, but I've never had one. The ice cream cakes I've had... Oh, where do we get them? DQ.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right up the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to throw that out. Old Tom Carvel. He did his own commercials.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. They're very popular back in the day.
He was in the Unfrosted movie, wasn't he, Carvel?
I think he was. Yeah, I think they did a little bit on that.
That was funny.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Fellas. Thank you. Bye-bye.
206-1580, toll free, 888-441-1580. Well, it should be patriotism at number 1.
You would think.
But it's not.
Of course not.
You know what is?
What?
Yellow corn.
Ew.
Yeah. This is based on Instacart.
Food, yeah.
Yeah. beta days from last year's 4th of July, the demand for yellow corn is up 380% compared to yearly average.
Well, due to inflation, it's all anybody can afford. You know what we're having this year? Corn.
Other products that surge over the 4th of July, what would you think they would be?
Other products that
Yes.
surge?
Number
Hot
two.
dogs. Hot
Number
dogs.
two.
Number two?
No.
What is it? Potato salad.
Charcoal, you're close. Number 3 is potato salad. Number 4, baby back rib. Baby back, baby back, baby back.
Baby back.
I want my baby back, baby back. Get in my belly. Hot dog buns coming in at number 5.
Okay. Well, you need the hot dogs for the hot dog buns.
Canned baked beans coming in at number 6.
Okay.
Brats, the old bratwurst, coming in at number 7. Frozen beef burgers at number 8.
Okay.
The Bubba burgers, I would imagine.
Right. You got to have... If you're having a barbecue, you got to get the frozen ones because you're going to need.
And if you're getting the frozen ones, you might as well get the Bubba burgers.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
They're good.
Okay.
Watermelons at number 9. Beef patties at the bottom, number 10. As for the hamburger hot dog debate, most of America is ordering more hot dog buns. That's 31 states from California across middle America all the way to New York and Mass. 19 states that order more hamburger buns are in the corners. The Northeast U.S., Northwest, Southeast, including Florida, plus Alaska and Hawaii. Top adult beverage of choice, light lagers.
Yeah, because they're going to be having a lot of them.
Hard seltzers are second, followed by vodka and canned cocktails. Condiments, hot sauce, number 1 out west. Ranch in the Midwest. Northwest and Northeast are making sure they got enough mayo. Barbecue sauce down here in the South.
Mayo?
Ketchup, mustard, relish, maybe too common to stand out. But that said, ketchup was number 1 in 5 states, including right here in Florida. And relish was significantly important in only 1 state, and that is Texas.
Interesting.
And there's your 4th of July condiment list.
This voice of yours is really something. Huh? I can't get enough of it.
We'll be right back with Charlotte County Speaks on News Radio 1580 WCCF.
So our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen went grocery shopping? Yeah, she was just being interviewed on, I was on Yahoo News, if I'm not mistaken, and the interview was asking her about groceries and whether or not she went grocery shopping. And Janet says, yes, I go once a week. Are you sticker shock at the grocery store? Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary of the United States, said no. Again, first and foremost, anybody think that Janet is pulling up to the Costco and going grocery shopping by any stretch of the imagination? No, I don't think so. She's got a government credit card. She's going out to dinner quite a bit. Anyway, neither here nor there. We're at a point in time where they just will lie right to your face. Grocery prices are up by, more than 25, 30%, in some instances even higher than that. And she's saying, no sticker shock whatsoever. Again, these are the people that are in charge. Watchdog on wallstreet.com.
News Radio 1580, 100.9 FM, WCCFradio.com. Charlotte County Speaks, 1023 on a Thursday. Phone lines are open for you at 941-206-1580. Toll free, 888-441-1580 with the Who.
The Who.
The Who.
The Who, yes. And on this day in 2002, one day before the scheduled first show of The Who's 2002 U.S. tour, bass player John Entwistle died at the age of 57 in his hotel room at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Entwistle had gone to bed that night with a stripper who woke at 10 a.m. to find Entwistle cold and unresponsive. The Las Vegas medical examiner determined that death was due to a heart attack induced by an undetermined amount of cocaine.
A lot of it.
Yes.
Probably. A lot of it.
There are worse ways to go, aren't there?
Strippers
a
and
hooker
cocaine.
and an 8-ball. There you go.
And he probably went out doing what he wanted to do. I guess. So, whatever.
Hey, folks, John Caparulo made it. He's here.
Hi. Sorry.
How you doing?
I was supposed to be. I guess I was supposed to be here at 10, but
No,
I
that's
thought they
fine.
said 10:14.
That's all right. That's fine. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
yeah,
How
I'm
you
here.
doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having
Now,
me.
is this your first time? This is your first
Yes.
time at Imbasciani.
Yes, it is. Well, last night was my first show there. Great.
Yeah.
It's a great room. It really is.
How you like the food?
I didn't have the food
What?
because I was. You know what? They got outraged too. Yeah. I showed up so late, and I knew I had to stop and make my grocery store run on the way back. I thought it would get cold, so I'm going to get it tonight and the rest of the weekend. But I haven't had it yet.
Yeah, make sure it's the best food in comedy.
That's what I heard. That's what they tell me, and I mean, I was impressed anyway. I mean, I like performing at a castle, so it's pretty sweet. So I like it so far.
So tell us about John Caparulo. Where are you from? What got you? You've been doing comedy for quite a while. You've been doing TV, voice work. You've been doing all kinds of stuff. Tell us where you're from and how'd you get into it.
I wasn't doing comedy, I guess. So yeah, I'm originally from Ohio.
Whereabouts?
It's a town's called East Liverpool, Ohio. It's right on the border of PA, West Virginia.
I did radio in Youngstown for a few years.
There you go. Yeah, my last day job in Ohio was in Boardman.
Okay.
Home of Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Ohio. Moved to LA in '99, and got I was a doorman at the Comedy Store while I cut grass and things like that at a golf course until I I was able to actually be a professional comedian eventually a few years later. So, and then, done the Tonight Show. Chelsea Lately was a big thing for me. I guess. And,
you were on there for a long time.
Yeah. I think we counted like it was almost 150 episodes I think I was on, which is
wow.
a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And, a couple specials,
How was it working with other comedians like that? Once the Chelsea, she gets her show. She was a comedian. Was she fun to work with?
She was great. I mean, really, you can't really as a comedian, you can't thank somebody enough for sharing their spotlight and going, hey, I have a big light on me. Let me share that with you guys because that doesn't happen a lot. And I mean, the way her show was versus, I loved. It was such an honor to be able to do shows like the Tonight Show and things like that.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's when you do those shows, especially when you're doing stand up on the show, they really manage to suck all the fun out of it because you have to go over it, rehearse it so many times, and you have to every line you're going to say really is so needled. Whereas her show was so spontaneous. It really was just we would go over the topics or something before the show. A couple hours before with a producer.
Yeah.
And, you give them maybe, a few jokes that you had about the topic or something like that. But I learned quickly, it was you couldn't get married to any certain joke because it's if I started into some bit I had about the topic, Chelsea could easily cut me off and talk about how fat my neck is.
Yeah.
And it's I guess I'm just going to defend my neck for the rest of this. And
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I didn't have any neck jokes. So no, it was just so fun and loose, and it was as a comedian, it's so fun to be able to go on there and just do that versus go on
have it so choreographed.
Yeah, well, go on and do your set because usually my comedy act, when I did the Tonight Show, it's I did my set, but it was my set with a lot of F-bombs and stuff like that taken out. Whereas on Chelsea's show, it was just we could just talk about whatever, and you could just kind of let it rip. And if something slipped, they bleep it, or they cut it out. It didn't really matter, and it was just a lot of fun. And couldn't thank her enough for the time. I missed that show. It really was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, that is cool. What? How you've seen the highs and the lows? Are you still living out in L.A. or are you bailed out of there?
I live in Vegas. My wife, daughter, and I we moved to Vegas in 2018 because I had a residency show at Harrah's in Las Vegas starting in 2018, and then went up through when COVID hit. A bunch of shows just got
blown up,
and so now I just use the airport. I'm just we live there, but and I do a Tuesday night.
A lot of comedians are living in Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of people came over, with COVID, a lot of people started moving over. But I went over there before that whole thing happened and with the residency. But then I do a Tuesday night show every week at the Jimmy Kimmel Club, which is cool. So it's like, I get to still do, basically it's like, a weekly show in Vegas, and then I get to go on the road because I have my weekends free now, which is cool.
Very cool. That is cool.
Yeah, it's not
very
bad.
cool.
It's not bad.
How has your comedy changed over the years for you? In how you do you do it differently now in regards to writing your comedy and coming up with it? Has your process changed at all over the years?
Well, you know what, it's gotten lazier. No, well, you know what the thing is like I learned. It took me a few years to learn that like I wasn't somebody who could like sit down with a notebook and just like start writing out jokes because it really does. It's not the same for me because I have to have sort of a give and take energy with the crowd. So like, people always ask like, did I just come up with that today? And it's like, well, at some point I did come up with that just today because it was like, and because usually most of my stuff is like I have a topic I want to go with and I have maybe a certain idea where I want to go with it. And then I put it in front of a crowd and depending on the energy I get back from them is, it'll build. Yeah. And if I don't get much back from them, it won't see the light of day again. So, but as far as my my perspective obviously has evolved a lot over the years. As far as for the first half of my career at least, I was I had no girlfriend, no prospects of a girlfriend. I don't even like saying I was.
Boy, it sounds like he was in radio.
I was. I don't even like saying I was single before I met my wife. I was alone. So it was it's like, wow, there's nobody here. But after I met my wife in 2010, we have a daughter. So it's like, now I'm married with a
that gives you a different
child.
perspective.
So it does. It really does. I mean, going from just lonely dude with a dog to now.
What kind of dog?
I had a Basset Hound. That's my favorite. I love dogs. We still have a couple dogs, but I'm not in charge of picking our dogs. We seem to be accumulating cats too because of my daughter. I'm not arguing. It's like
just an observation.
I don't mind having it in my lap on the toilet, but it's still. It's a different. I definitely live in a different place than I did the first half of my career, where I was just like I said, just some lonely single guy with no prospects of anything to now, married with a child and a house full of a lot of pets and. So it's like, so the place where I come from with my comedy is different. It's a lot more, I think it's more well-rounded,
Yeah,
cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We got to take another break. We'll be right back with more on News Radio 1580.
Okay, I think we should take a break and clean our body parts.
We'll be right back with Charlotte County Speaks on News Radio 1580 WCCF.
On the streets, look at me.
This is our lip syncing moment. Here we go. You ready? Who knows the lyrics? Okay, I win. News Radio 1580, 100.9 FM, WCCF 1036 here. The Stones,
yes.
Some Girls, Shattered. You said pick a Stone song. I picked Shattered.
Very good. On this day in 1967, Mick Jagger was found guilty
of
illegal possession of 2 drugs found in his jacket at a party given by Keith Richards.
What were those 2 drugs?
I don't know. He was remanded overnight at Lewis Jail in England, prison number 7856. Jagger requested books on Tibet and modern art and 2 packs of Benson and Hedges cigarettes.
It's back when you could smoke in the pokey. They won't let you do that no more.
There you go.
You ever been in jail there, John?
I have not. It's always been something I'd like to try that, but no, I haven't gotten around to jail yet. No,
I got to do a lot in Youngstown. Mm-hmm. I got to do a live remote from the new jail that they put downtown. I was the first inmate in the jail. I had to do call-ins all night to the overnight guy. And then an interview in the morning.
The closest I've ever gotten, I remember I was at the Comedy Store in L.A. I remember, and I got I bought a water balloon slingshot.
Yeah.
And, it's like one of those 3-man deals.
We used to make those.
Yeah. So we got, because I got the regular one first, and then I looked online again, and I was like, oh man, they make like a high-powered one that I was like you can send a balloon back in time with. And so we were shooting them off the roof of the Comedy Store to hit, like, there was it's called the Sky Bar. I don't know if it's there still, but there was a line. It was like a trendy bar that people were in line for outside, and we were
balloons.
pelting the line. I remember this girl came back over. She's all mad and wet. and she was like, and there was a cop there, because I guess a cop almost got hit. We were real close. I remember the cop came up, like he was trying to find us there. Like the manager just helped us out, like led him the other way. But I mean, I almost ended up in county for the weekend, and I did not want to have to go to county jail and be like, what are you in for? Water balloons. Looks like I found my new girlfriend. You sure did, sir. You sure did.
I'm not alone anymore.
Here, let me make it wet. But yeah, those are fun. Those little we used to make them. You get a plastic funnel, put holes in the side. You got to put duct tape around it and then you get surgical tube. Mm-hmm. You tie them off in knots. One guy on one side, the other guy on the other, and the other guy in the back.
Yeah, because the best part is like you'll do it. You do it in the dark all the time. It's like you go, and you just sit there and wait, and then all of a sudden you hear, and y'all just giggle. I mean, it's like you're like grown men will get so giggly over some water balloons, man. Yeah, man.
Fun.
Yeah, good times.
206-1580, toll free 888-441-1580. So who's your teams?
My teams, you know what? It's weird. I'm between teams, like, because I grew up a Browns fan, which I don't recommend to anybody.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It's not really the way.
No.
Well, because
if you enjoy winning, it's not really the team for you.
See, I grew up. I was like to specify. I grew up a Browns. I'd like a fan of the original team, the Browns team that moved to Baltimore. And it's like when they moved to Baltimore, I became sort of a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, all right, well, I just kind of floated around, because I mean, I started rooting forever. I used on Madden, and I floated around a little bit. But when the Browns came back in '99, that was the year I moved to LA. But I was like, still like, I was always a Browns fan, so I root for the Browns. And it took me about a year and a half of that, and then I was like, you know what? I don't really have to. I'm not going to let you guys ruin my Sunday anymore. I felt like it was like Pet Cemetery. Like, like maybe they should have let him die. But so I just sort of, I became a guy, like with sports, I became a guy who I just follow my favorite players and things like that, because I was a huge Michael Jordan fan, and I didn't care if, he played for the Chicago Bulls, whoever he played for. It's like, that guy's great. And it's like, I don't know. I'm like, how do you like basketball and not like this guy? Like, he's just the
just because he's on a different team.
How can you be that? And that's the same way with, with football. Because, I'm still a big football fan, even though I don't really have a specific team right now, because I was, I was a big Tom Brady, Bill Belichick fan. I love watching when somebody's that good at what they do. Yeah. And
I winners.
Yeah, well, it's like liking a good band,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, it's like what I just like when somebody's that good at what they do. I don't try to fool myself into thinking, oh well, the Patriots win, so that makes me a winner. No, it's just like I just like watching the drama play out. And,
and a good team making good plays.
Right. It's like, why spend your Sunday watching somebody suck? But I'm still like, I spend a lot of time and money on Madden Mobile. So I'm still very much an NFL fan, somebody who plays it, but I don't really. Right now, I'm between
more the players,
teams.
Not the team.
Yeah, it really is. So,
that's cool. A lot of people do not. You into any? So you like the fantasy stuff? You into the
fantasy
football?
I played it a little bit. It always gets it's frustrating because it's like I consider myself pretty knowledgeable about football, and it's such a crapshoot with fantasy where I'm just like, did your wife beat me? Like, really? I'm just like, this sucks, and so I get frustrated. But I think we're gonna play this year because I'm in a league on Madden Mobile. We're pretty highly ranked. But I think we're just to let everybody know.
You're talking to the MVP of Call of Duty Mobile over
there.
Is
that right? Okay, there you go. Yeah, I mean it's
the two index fingers of doom.
I would say Madden, but it's my golf. You know, some guys play golf.
Hey,
you
that's
know,
fine.
Pay a lot of greens fees,
man.
so that's what I do. Is I build my team, and I get, you know, and a lot of times, my wife and daughter will try to be gone to sleep, and I'm up there playing my daily tournament drives, and they might hear somebody yell and throw things because I get pretty upset. But I love. I'm a big football fan. Yeah, big football fan.
What would you be doing if you weren't doing comedy?
If I wasn't doing comedy, you know, I always say that, like, I'd probably be working on a road crew or something like that. Hopefully I'd be in charge by now, but something like that, like the street department. I always liked jobs like that where it was just like, you know, you just hang out and drive around the truck, get your, you know, get your crappy cappuccino from the gas station and just kind of hang out all day, patch some potholes and things like that. I mean, I went to college and stuff, but I don't know if I'd ever have like a real.
Did you finish?
Office.
Did you graduate?
I graduated.
What'd you get?
I was in radio, TV production. Actually,
Hey, there you go.
And the thing
you did a ton of podcasts, and you've produced a bunch of podcasts.
Not really. I've done it, you know, sort of like you know, well, everybody else does it, so I'm going to do it. But I mean, you know, I've always tried to find my own sort of thing as far as online. Like I started producing my own like stand-up shorts and things like that called caplets, and you know, I've been trying to produce a animated series for a long time. I even wrote some comic books in the meantime.
Cool. Yeah.
So, you know, things like that. Like I've always been into stuff like that. But as far as like, you know, like my radio TV production degree, I mean, I really, like, as soon as I went to my first radio interview in comedy, I'm like, wow. I
realized you didn't need this degree.
None of that would have applied. Like, I never owned a computer my whole way through college. Like, I never even owned one. I borrowed my roommates to type a paper, maybe, but, like, it wasn't like I needed a computer. And, like we still use, like, those carts and things like that for radio, like, all our projects. So I knew absolutely nothing
Cart
going
decks,
after I finished college. So it was, you know, I pretty much, if I wasn't doing stand-up, I would be in trouble. I don't know what else I could do with myself than stand-up comedy. So, yeah.
Well, you're doing what you love, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
That's why. Yeah. If you can't answer the question, that means you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
It'd be tough for me to think. Yeah, at this point. Yeah.
We got to take another break. We'll be right back.
How are you now, Dad?
You and me had a crossover guy, Dad.
Up north for some father-son fishing, Dad.
Don't get the kids all riled up before bed, Dad.
Okay, now to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Lots of people emit sounds when they stands up and sits down, not just dads.
We'll be right back with Charlotte County Speaks on News Radio 1580 WCCF.
I went to the emergency room once because I fell asleep in AirPods, woke up, couldn't find one, thought I swallowed it. I wish I could pretend this story happened a really long time ago, but the technology involved makes that impossible. I fell asleep in 2 AirPods, woke up in 1 AirPod, and was like, well, obviously I swallowed it. Convinced my sister to take me to the emergency room, ruining Christmas morning for everyone. So we get to the emergency room in our hometown where I have to tell 3 grown women at the front desk what I'm doing there. I'm like, well, you probably get this all the time. And they were like, an AirPod, sweetie, those are pretty big, right? Those are big. You really think you could have swallowed? And I said, how about we don't have a team discussion about what I can and can't swallow, okay? Before a doctor can come in to see us, my other sister calls us from home and goes, hey, yeah, we found it in the pillowcase. Does Crazy want to come home and have pancakes now?
News Radio 1580, 100.9 FM, WCCFradio.com. Charlotte County Speaks at 10:50. Yes.
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 Yes, this is yes.
Yes.
And on this day,
this is yes.
In 2015, Chris Squire, the bass player and co-founder of the 1970s British progressive rock band Yes, died at the age of 67 after battling leukemia. He was the only member to appear on each of their 21 studio albums released from 1969 to 2014.
Wow. Awesome.
Damn.
There you go.
They're a
That's
good
impressive,
band,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day, I was a kid, and my next door neighbors, they were all like 5, 6 years older than me, and they were all going to see Yes in the Round.
Oh wow!
I'm like,
Okay.
they had a revolving stage.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So back in the '70s, that was like cool.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It's cool to perform on. I mean, because I did it. Yeah, I think I did the place a couple times. There's a place called the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix, and you perform in the round, and it like the stage rotates. It's very gentle, so it's not like it's almost like. I mean, it's not like the Earth, but it basically, you know it's spinning, but it's not that, hard. But I mean, it really does. It makes 2,500 people feel like, a lot more, like almost like 100 or
intimate
200.
show.
Because you're just sort of, you just have to keep yourself pacing around and stuff like that. But
that's cool.
It's a cool way to see a show and to perform. Yeah.
Have you seen a show at the Sphere yet?
I have not.
No.
I have friends that have gone. Like one of my friends came out and saw U2 there, and my wife's been there a couple of times because my wife is a teenager. I mean, not really, but
We get it.
She lives her life that way. Like she loves going to like she went to freaking Coachella this year. You're somebody's mom. But
somebody took some video of Dead and Company.
I showed you some.
Oh, that's
video
right.
too.
It was you. Yeah, that looks surreal.
It looks so cool. Yeah,
but
cool.
I've heard inside is spectacular. But I mean, the outside of it. I mean, it's really cool when they put like a really, because they just change the graphic constantly, and it's like
I was in Vegas in August, and at least they shut it off at 11 o'clock because I was staying at the Trump Hotel, and we could see it right out our window.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would go through all the phases of the moon. It's super cool.
It's really cool.
Some guy already climbed it, I heard, or whatever.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Of course. Well, hey, world's a little crazy out there.
A little.
A lot of weird stuff.
A
A lot of weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
And Canadians, it's getting a little crazy up there.
Yes.
There's this one guy in Toronto. He's got a very small front yard. And
Greg Morton is safe now.
Yes, it's a very small front yard, and he's got little bricks where the grass was, but it's so small. He just laid some bricks there and has a couple of nice Adirondack chairs there.
Have to mow your lawn. Yeah.
And across the street is the park. He's got a beautiful view. And these two old ladies are taking a walk, and they just decide to park their butts in his chair. Now, here in Florida, in the HOA gated communities, you could PGI. You could understand why some hey, those are my chairs. You could understand that did not happen here.
That was a little startling.
The guy,
right? Especially this early in the morning.
The guy made them tea. Made the ladies tea. Took it out to them.
Nice.
Set it down. It was they sitting there having a nice little tea.
You mean it's not a Florida man?
No.
Breaking news.
It was
Two
a great
old
story.
ladies
And he
shot
videoed
in the front yard. for
videoed the
sitting-
whole thing.
Yeah, of course.
Saying, how can I not make these lovely ladies tea?
Oh, of
it was like, it was a good story of the day.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sure. Okay, sure.
You don't get too many of those anymore.
That's it.
Wait, that's the story?
That's it.
Oh, that's not. I mean, I was really.
You were waiting.
I was really waiting for that to go south.
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
yeah.
It didn't. That was a good story of the day. I thought that was
Okay,
very
yeah.
cool.
All right. Very
Absolutely,
cool.
but I mean, I also don't. I don't know. I think it encourages other old ladies to do that.
And we don't want to be encouraging the old ladies.
An epidemic of kindness here. So yeah.
World's longest bicycle. This is a cool video. You can find it on YouTube. It's 188 feet long.
Wow.
To 180 feet, 11 inches. And how they made it and how it's powered, it looks more like a steamroller than anything else. But they had to beat the guy from Australia who beat a 155-foot bike.
For one person, or is it like for multiple
Well, there's
people?
a guy up front of this who's steering it.
It's a limousine.
Right, yeah.
There's a guy up front who sits on a seat and steers it, and then there's 4 people positioned behind each other at the back of it, and they're all pedaling.
Right.
And the thing's barely going like 2-3 miles an hour,
So it
but
is
they
a
only had to go.
limousine.
It had to travel a certain distance and
Right.
be able to steer,
Yeah.
and they accomplished that. So now they got the Guinness World Record.
And
don't
so
go in
now
a
the guy in
circle.
second place feels ridiculous.
He's-
Like now I have this
Right.
long
Yeah.
bike. I have this long bike for nothing here.
Well,
It's not
no,
even a
you
record
just
holder.
stick another 35-foot section in there, break the record.
He's probably like, oh, just do that, huh?
You know how long this took the first time?
This isn't easy, pal.
Oh, wait, we got to learn stuff.
Yes.
And now it's time for
Random facts.
It's our little educational portion of the show.
I like it.
Okay, I don't pre-read these because if I did, I probably wouldn't do them.
Okay.
Number one of your 5
Good way
random
to start.
facts. The studio refused to greenlight Groundhog Day without the movie explaining why Phil becomes trapped in the same day. Director Harold Ramis and producer appeased the studio, but they deliberately placed the scenes too late in the shooting schedule to be filmed.
Right. Yeah.
Number 2, 60% of the geysers in the world are all located at
No idea. Yosemite.
Yellowstone
Okay.
National Park.
It's
Number
whatever.
3, a scientist discovered a new species of iguana when he was watching the Brooke Shields movie The Blue Lagoon in 1980 and spotted it in the background.
What? Really? It's. I guess it said it on the internet, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be true.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
What's this? Number 4, Ne'aliu, Hawaii, is the farthest south of any town in the U.S. The town that's farthest south in the continental U.S.
Texas. No. Oh, Key West.
There you go.
Key
Key
West.
West.
Key West. I was just there for the first time
There.
end of last year.
Oh, yeah. Did you
Key
have a
West.
good time?
There's roosters everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Very
that
loud.
really threw me off.
And finally, number 5 of your 5 random facts. The color distribution in the average package of Reese's Pieces is roughly 50% orange, 25% yellow, and 25% brown. And there is your 5
That
random facts.
Very random.
That last one is not that interesting. I mean, it's like, that sounds right.
We appreciate your honesty, Jim.
Yes.
Absolutely, no problem.
So you got another guy named John who's
Yes, I can't
featuring,
remember his last
but we
name
don't
right now,
know.
but he's I know he's a Florida guy, so because I know I've seen him a bunch of times when I've done other clubs in Florida. But I can't remember his last name. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't know we were going to get into that on air, but yeah,
Okay.
I
All
feel
right.
bad. I can't remember his last name.
That's all right, but trust me, there's a feature.
Yes, there is.
Another guy named John.
And then there's another.
And then you got
opener,
John
and I don't
Caparulo.
know, yeah, is it going to be a different?
Well,
guy?
yeah,
And then there's
I'll
me.
be there.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
I'll be there Saturday night first show,
cool. Okay.
and then you'll have somebody else on the second. The MCs are different.
Yeah.
So there you go. Vasani.net.
Wait, you'll
Get your
be
tickets.
you'll be doing the show with us?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Saturday.
All right. That sounds fun.
Saturday.
All right.
It's fun. Always a good time.
Always a good time.
Always a good time.
Yeah, we'll
Best steaks, great
talk
Italian
We'll
food.
talk about Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I'll bring some.
We'll go over the distribution to get the percentages down there. Yeah.
And Mike, where you at?
Folks, come see my band, Mike Imbasciani and his Blues Rockers, this weekend. Friday, June 28th, over at the Stage down in Bonita, 7:30 to 9:30. Saturday, June 29th, over at Ortesia, our debut from 8 to 11 p.m. Right there in downtown Punta Gorda. And Sunday, the 30th, over at Stevie Tomato Sports Page.
Go for the food, stay for the sports.
Yes, from 3 to 6 over there in Cape Coma. MikeImbassiani.com for the full show schedule.
And also go to Vasani.net to get tickets for his show coming up.
Yep.
When? July what?
End of July, July 30th, Tuesday. Simply
With-
Clapton Show with Eric Clapton's nephew, Will Johns. It's going to be fun.
Can be a good time.
Yeah.
John Caparulo, thank you very much
Thank
for coming
you
in,
for
man.
having me. I
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it,
Great
guys.
meeting you. Look forward to seeing you Saturday.
See you Saturday,
Folks,
yeah.
go see him tonight through Saturday at Vasani.net. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
Anybody got any more jokes? Anything funny? No? All right. See you, folks.